conservation and restoration of aquatic biodiversity are essential for harnessing benefits from such ecosystem on sustainable basis. To increase the abundance of fishes in River Ganga, in situ conservation and restoration of fishes in different depleted stretches might be an excellent way to revive the fish stock in natural habitat and to supply adequate fish for fulfilling growing demand of the nation. To conserve wild fishes, breeding is an imperative activity for producing pure and quality seed. The induced breeding or hypophysation is a common practice since last 50 years in India. ICAR-Central Inland Fisheries Research Institute along with National Mission for Clean Ganga NMCG under Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India is actively engaged in fish biodiversity restoration of River Ganga through induced breeding of wild fish germplasm. The wild fish germplasm were collected from different stretches of River Ganga or adjacent floodplain wetlands which were stocked in a well-managed broodstock ponds at Bolagor of West Bengal. Almost 200 kg of brooder fish were collected every year and reared for breeding. The availability of adequate natural and supplementary feed is maintained to get the improved growth and good health of the brooders. Fishes were constantly monitored for gonadal development for superior performance during breeding, egg quality, and increased hatching success. During monsoon months, the selected fishes were maintained in hapa to strengthen and lower the stress effect of netting, which was then transported to a nearby hatchery. The dosage of carp pituitary extracts is determined by the body weight of brooders. After 5 hours of second dose of injection, stripping was carried out. After stripping, the eggs were mixed with the milk and were immediately transferred to a cemented hatching pool for fertilization. Eggs were hatched out after 16 to 18 hours post-injection. The fertilization rate of eggs was about 98%, whereas the hatching rate was achieved to almost 90%.
CIFRI is working on the breeding of the riverine stocks from River Ganga and going for the ranching program into the River Ganga to increase the fish productions from the River Ganga. We are collecting the brooders from the River Ganga and taking the private ponds and hatchery on a lease basis. There we are breeding the fish using the pituitary hormones. After the fish breeds, that we are being released to the nursery ponds, and when this spawn grows to a fingerling size, then what we are doing, we are releasing this stock into the rivers for the river ranching programs to increase the riverine stocks in which rohu, katla, mrigal and kalvas are bred and released into the rivers.
After 3 days of hatching, fish spawns were transported and stocked to well-prepared nursery ponds. Repeated netting was performed in the ponds for monitoring the spawn health, growth and survivability. After 7 days of stocking, spawn was shifted partially to other nursery ponds for lowering the stocking density. The spawns were nurtured by feeding milk powder and egg yolk mixture for consecutive 2 days of post-stocking. After certain period, commercially available powdered feed was broadcasted for achieving better growth. Nursery ponds were carefully monitored for quality growth till they attained fingerling size ready to be released in the river. Fingerlings of standard sizes were ready for river ranching. Increasing of riverine fish stock through river ranching preserves the natural genetic resources of the river without contaminating the genetic pool. Wild fish germplasm and ranching is a new initiative by joint efforts of ICAR-CIFRI and National Mission for Clean Ganga under the flagship project.